Welcome back, Geek fans. It's time for another Shane Reads. And what did Jacob force me to read today? He forced me to read Ultimate Spider-Man, Power and Responsibility. Jacob, you gave me this. You forced me to read it. That's the deal. I had to read it, and then we're going to comment on it, and then we're going to rate it by my bizarre medium system because I'm kind of medium about comic books. So tell me something about Ultimate Spider-Man, Power and Responsibility.
Alright, so this is basically a reimagining of Peter Parker's origin story as Spider-Man. If you've seen, the movies, Amazing Spider-Man and the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, it's pretty much that exact same origin, because, it's always the same thing. It's bitten by a radioactive spider, and then, starts climbing up walls, shooting webs, all that kind of stuff. But in this, it was meant to be, at the time, this is in the Ultimate Universe, which is a society universe that's supposed to be, smaller. This was the first property that took place in that universe. It had it was just supposed to be less characters, less complicated. It eventually got complicated with more characters, but it started off with just Spider-Man. And what did you think about this book?
Jacob, I have when I was a kid, I think I saw the Spider-Man cartoon and I saw the origin story. Jacob, I saw those movies you just mentioned, so I saw another origin story, then another origin story. And now you give me another origin story about Spider-Man that I already know.
This came out before those movies, Shane. This was what spawned those movies. Those movies take a lot of inspiration from this book, even though, it's always the same thing.
That's the problem, and it's hard for me to judge, because I didn't know it came out before the movies.
Yeah, it came out in 2000.
But it was kind of boring. I know his origin story. I already know the origin story. And they mixed up a few things around, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I've seen so many, I don't know which is the real, traditional, origin story. I guess I'd have to read Spider-Man 1 back that Stan Lee did or something. So anyways, it's fine. So this is just like Jacob said, this is the origin story you expect. So Peter Parker is this goofy high school kid. He's an outcast. He's super smart. They show some of the other characters, Harry Osborn, you got Dr. Octavius in the background there. But this was just really generic to me because I already knew it.
See, I started reading this series, with issue 108, and then I got, a subscription to, get every issue in every month. And then I went back, because there was a part where, it had, kind of the soft reboot thing where something big happened, and then they, ended it for a while, and then, restarted it back up, but it was still, all connected. But so when that happened, I stopped my subscription, and then I went back and I read this first volume of it, and I wasn't as impressed as I was with the future comics, because I thought those were really well written and everything. And then, like you said, this was generic, but I enjoyed seeing. I like seeing the wrestling scene that we see in the first Spider-Man movie, and I like seeing a new take on the Green Goblin. He's kind of, more of a, physical threat.
He's like a monster as opposed to, someone with, a special suit.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a suit.
Yeah,
it's not him. He just has powers, I think.
Yeah, and he can throw, literal balls of flame at people. And it has a lot of lead up to other stuff in this book. You can tell that they're leading up to other things. And there's a part where they even reference the Hulk and Captain America in it.
Ooh.
And I'll probably give this to you eventually. There's in the Ultimates book, which is this universe's version of the Avengers. So all these characters exist in this universe, but we already know that.
Yeah.
So if we were reviewing this book back in 2000, we'd probably be more excited about it, because we wouldn't have seen those movies already. Wouldn't have we'd have all that anticipation to see what's going to come later. And so I'm a really big fan of the Ultimate Universe of Marvel, and I think it's ended now because they did this it
got too complicated.
Yeah, well, what they did was they took all the alternate universe that they've had, and they combined them into this big battle world thing. I don't know, and it just ended. So they ended this and brought some of the fan favorites into the main universe.
Comic books are such a mess.
I know. God. I know. It really is a mess, because every 5 years they have to reboot.
Oh.
But anyways, we're just focusing on this one book, and I like it. I would give it probably Letter grade, a B.
Jacob, we don't do letter grades in this segment.
What do we do in this segment?
Medium!
Okay, yeah, that's right. Your weird medium system. I give it a medium plus.
I'm going to give it a straight medium, and I have one other comment I want to make in the book. And this, I just don't like this, and it's not this book's fault. I don't like Peter Parker coming up to the web shooters. I do not like that at all. I actually really did hate that. I really dislike that. I really loved how they changed it to the organic web shooters in the movies. I was like, that's cool! I didn't even realize, actually, because I wasn't a big Spider-Man fan, I didn't really make that connection that that in the original comics, he designs those.
Yes, and later on, there's actually a book where when they were making the first Spider-Man movie, they actually have Sam Raimi and the actor, what's the actor's name? Shane?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire!
They actually have them in the comic book. They're shooting the movie, and he's like, hey man, this is my movie. Why are you paying me? Like, what's going on? But later on, after the movie came out, they actually have some other Spider-Man characters that actually have organic web shooters.
And just to me, it seems like so natural. Like you get the spider powers, and he starts being able to shoot webs.
I know.
It seems forced that I suddenly come up with it.
I know. I think they're trying to make their own thing with this new version of Spider-Man, but they want to have some connections to the original version as well.
Alrighty then, Jacob. What's going on for next? What are you gonna force me to read next?
All right, we're going back to Star Wars now.
Oh no!
This is Star Wars: Shattered Empire. It is the first piece of new canon, I think, that takes place after Episode 6. It focuses on, this is a little bit of a spoiler, I guess, Poe Dameron's parents. So it's a really interesting connection to The Force Awakens, and we're going to find out what Shane thinks about it.
Very well then. Stay tuned next time, folks, for Shane reads Star Wars: Shattered Empire. Anyways, folks, we've been Geeks the Movies.